Picture a man going on a journey behind sight and sound. He has left YouTube. He has entered the Patreon Zone. right at the end there, Jason. You got it. It's Dave. You had it way back. You did. You know what, Lou? I've got it at 8 o'clock, and on my linking one, it didn't show up. So you're right. You did get it first, but Jason was the first one that came up on Roadrunner. Jay was the first one that came up on the thing that allows me to link. Lou, I did that especially for you because we've been looking at the posters around your workstation, and you've got a Dave one there. So I thought Lou's got to get that first, and you did. You did me proud, Lou. You did me proud. Okay, so last night we had a bit of a fun stream, didn't we? So tonight I am back on the Amber Nectar again. This time I'm still in Whitstable, but this time we've got an organic ale. I'm not quite sure what that makes the first one I had yesterday. Is that a synthetic? So we got organic and perhaps synthetic. I don't know. Oh, it tastes nice though. It's only 4.5%, but there you go. Tonight, as you know, we're going to be building the V8 engine. I need to meet expectations. As you can see, it's all laid out here. There's no way in a million years this is getting finished tonight. Plus, I need your help because there's some things I don't understand on it. And I'm sure someone in the community is going to be able to help me with this. And I'll explain that in a minute. But first,
let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now let's get cracking.
Yep, Lou definitely beat everybody. I expected Lou to. I would have been very disappointed if he hadn't. Okay, first things first. Since yesterday, a couple of you have sent me emails regarding the Sideshow Orca, which looks like this. Now that is 1 meter. It's over 1 meter long. It's ginormous, and it looks really good. The funny thing is that I linked it to Phil.
Let's give it up
all
big
we
time.
did was pick fault with it about what it actually
Hello, Christian
got. I mean,
Grantham.
we know the Orca like
Now
the back
let's
of our
get
hand.
cracking.
We know what's missing, what's changed, what's wrong, and stuff like that. That little beast that you see there, which is like, you know, almost the size of the Bismarck up there, is going to set you back $3,000. $3,000. So is that not the US Postal, Lou? I've got no idea. That was the video cover for the UK. So all good. Yeah, $3,000 for that Sideshow piece if you want one of them. But I mean, it looks nice, and on the Sideshow website I got a load more pictures for it. $3,000 though, oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot of money.
Let's
isn't it?
give it up big time.
Oh yeah, I've got to fix the Christian jingle. Thank you. Sorry, I did it again. I've shut it off. Thank you, Greg. I was just being extra nice to Christian tonight. You know, I'm very happy to see you tonight, Christian. Okay, now this model, just so you know, it's got a bit of history. It's basically from a company called Sterling Kit. I've got the link up on the screen here. Now, I tried to do this on the Patreon stream. I don't think it was last week. Was it the week before? It might have been last week. And I had a mare with it. As a matter of fact, the whole Patreon stream, we only managed to do about 3 stages, and they were all wrong. And I had to return back to scratch again. So this time, I've got the right tools. I've got the right size Allen keys. I've got all the screws in bags. And by the look of it, there's about 25 different bags of screws, grommets, and bearings. I've laid out some parts that we've got to do already, so I'm ready to screw that. So I think it's going to go a lot better than last time. But this is where I need your help. I know nothing about radio-controlled cars or planes or anything or making them. And I know there's a few people in the channel that do. Now, to power this engine, I can power it with the R2 test board, which looks like this. Okay, so I can plug the motor in here and you'll be able to see it whiz around. It doesn't use that on the build. As a matter of fact, the power that comes with, it doesn't come with a power supply. It comes with a receiver. Sorry, it doesn't even come with a receiver. It asks you to plug it into one of these, which is a receiver. And I'm guessing because that's a receiver, on the other side of it, you're going to need a transmitter. And it doesn't come with them either. Now, I don't know anything about remote control. So if you can lighten the or enlighten me with that, I've got the cable here, which will plug into the bottom of the engine. This end will plug into that receiver you just saw on the screen. How I operate it, I haven't got a clue. I'm guessing I need some sort of transmitter. But that's straight over my head. So I'm building this just to see a nice engine, and I'll probably mod it so that I can just plug it into a normal battery adapter rather than have it. I'm guessing you use this, that if you've built a radio control car or something like that and you want a working engine to show everything going around and stuff, you can actually use that as part of the radio control. But I don't know anything about it. So oh, about the drop-in feed, yeah, let me tell you about that as well. So yesterday's after stream, I spent most of the stream on my hands and legs like normal, and it wasn't because of the alcohol. The first spring rebounded off my body, and then somehow someone said it might have rebounded off my arm, which makes sense because it was behind me, so it was straight in the middle of the floor behind me. But the lens, let me just go around here, the Spitfire fell on the floor here. The lens came off and rolled underneath that section there. So I pulled that carpet out, right at the back of that carpet. That's where the lens was. And I fitted everything perfectly. And as I said, my gap that I had at the end wing, it was minute. So I just put a little few spots of glue in there, and I had it in a clamp last night, taken it off, and it's perfect today. So, but today I did get the next 4 stages of the Spitfire. So we've got the fuselage, the back fuselage on the left and right side, and we've also got the finish of the other wing. So that'll probably be coming soon as well. But when did you find spring? Yep, hopefully you heard that then, High Country Adventures. I found the spring, everyone's happy, we're all good. Now tomorrow from 7 o'clock, it's an earlier time tomorrow, from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, 2-hour stream. Mrs. World of Wayne's joining us, and we've got a Christmas quiz, which is going to be fun. And there is going to be a prize for the winner. Only one prize for the winner, and you'll see why there's only going to be one winner when we get to the last round. I've got 80 questions. I think you should be able to answer quite a few of them. When it gets to Mrs. World of Wayne's round, because I've dedicated a round to her, if you get any right, I'll be shocked. Because she's just crazy. But there you go. You told me it'd be the last place you would. You're absolutely right. But it was one of these things that, should I go to bed and just not bother looking for it? But I thought, no, I can't do that because I won't sleep. So I got down. I took Roadrunner's advice, actually. I turned the lights out, got my torch out, and I found the spring. That was the first thing I found pretty quickly. But that lens, God, if I hadn't pulled that carpet out, I wouldn't have found that at all. So, but yeah, so I'm looking for the, wait a minute. Mike King, Wonderland models, they're great on RC stuff. Oh, don't forget an electronic speed. I don't even know what that is, Mike King. But, I mean, I don't even think we're going to get to that stage anyway. But I do want to test it. I want to get to the stage where at least you can see the belts go round and stuff like that. But there you go. So that's what's happening. So tomorrow, again, no video on the channel tomorrow because I'm preparing for this quiz, which I think you like. It's quite interactive as well. We've got a visual round. We've got a sound round. So make sure you get your speakers up. Try and refrain from typing answers in chat. I will mention that tomorrow as well, except when we go into the answer round, where, because what we do is we answer 10 questions. I'll ask 10 questions, then we'll go back to question 1, and then you can post the answers as much as you want after that. So that's how it works, and then we'll move on to round 2. Everyone can post their scores up, and we're using the honor system. So basically, you know, if you got it wrong, you got it wrong. That's that. It's just for fun. But there will be a winner, and you'll see how I pick that at the end. We've given a lot of thought to this, me and Mrs. World of Wayne. But it's going to be cool. Now, tonight, if you've heard for the Patreons, because it's normally a Patreon stream, I probably won't catch up with chat much tonight because this is quite difficult and it's quite fiddly. Some of the pieces, like this section here, which is the solenoid for the starter motor, is actually silver. So I've already pre-painted it black. But you can make whatever modifications you want on this engine to make it look absolutely brilliant. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Now, in the chat, just so you know, in the video description, not only have I got a link for Sterling Kit, which is there, I've also got the direct link to the model I'm building at the moment. And there's also a link to my Google Drive, which has got the PDF instructions, what I'm following at the moment. So you'll be able to see them on there as well. So listen, if I miss some of your chat tonight, I apologise, but I'm probably stressing over here like I was last night. So, you're pretty sure you have an ESC with brake you can have if needed. Horlicks, I don't know what that is. What's an ESC with brake? I love it, Gunny. I did show that picture off, but it's just a lot of money. It's a lot of money, that Orca. Oh, and the other thing, John Russell, yeah, the bonus yesterday when I was scurrying around on the floor finding those two, I found the missing part from my Bismarck, which is now up there. just a little thing that goes on that boom there. So that's cool. And yeah, I will look, if I think I'm doing something wrong, Gary, I will look over. Trust me, tonight I will get the flywheel around the right way. That's what I mean. Everything, yeah, if I drop something tonight, Edward, we're in trouble. Okay, so I'm using this camera tonight. And to start off with, we have got the flywheel, which looks like this. Now, when I did this for the Patreons, I was making it this way round, which is completely wrong. Now, it does tell us the name of the screws to put in. I don't think it makes a difference, but this is a flathead black screw, which is going in there first. And that just basically pushes through all the way. But it's held in with a grommet on the other side. Now, these grommets are tiny, and there is a little lip on that, believe it or not. But what I'm going to do is make sure that lip is pointing outwards. So this is going to go on this way here. I'm already ahead of where I was on the Patreon stream when I did this. Electronic speed controller. Is that what that is, Peter? I haven't got a clue. I really need to... yeah, I should. I really need to keep up on that. I'd look into it, Peter. But I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get help when we get to that section. By the way, these are hex keys. So basically, I'm using size, just looking here, a 2mm and a 1.5mm to get these all in. So I'm just putting this all the way. So that grommet, I don't know if these are called grommets, what they called, those little things. I'm going to call them grommets, is in there nice and tight. So that is stage 1 done. Now, stage 2 is where things started to get a little bit messy. So stand by while I figure this out. What we needed to do was put a grommet in this pulley here, which I had already done in the Patreon stream. Now, we have to glue this in, so that's why that's not coming out. But this is where we've got to put everything together. So stand by. I'm just looking at this. I've just realised I've got a bearing already in here, which I don't want in here. So I'm going to get that out. Okay. Because I want to do this from scratch. So the flywheel is going to be going into a bearing into this side here. Just like that. So I've got one of these bearings here. This is a 2x5 times 1.5mm bearing. And that is going on like that. Then we've got a grommet again to put on. This time the lip faces the flywheel. You can see how tiny this is. So that's good. And I'm going to put that in all the way. Excellent. Then this is going to go into this section just there, like that. On the other side, we're going to be putting another bearing, which is going to fit over the screw and then pushed into that recess there. So we've got bearing, grommet, bearing, and then all we've got to do is put this pulley on the other end. See how tiny this is? And I'm just going to rotate that round. And hopefully, there we go, look. That, oh, it's just come off. Hang on a second, I haven't got it on yet. That took us about 45 minutes on the Patreon stream. What do you reckon, Gary? Hi Phil, how's it going? Merry Christmas, mate. So look, when the flywheel turns now, as you can see there, it's going to turn this little pulley here and the other way around. See? That's how that works. Excellent. So we've done that. The next stage, where things get a little bit fiddly, we're going to take this screw, which is an M212 screw. It's going to go, oh God, through a bearing first. I've got the bearing lined up for that. All the way. Now this is the bit that I couldn't do on the Patreon stream last time because I didn't have the right Allen key to operate this. So with it this way round, it's going to go through this hole. And then I've got another little grommet to put on the other side. Just making sure I put this on the right way. Okay, it goes on this way. I'll start it running. Well, hey, things get hard now. Because it wants to keep turning, you see. This is where I need my small Allen key. And I'll try and get that all the way on. That looks good. Get that all the way down. Yeah, this is the bit that I had big problems with on the Patreon stream. Looking good so far. Getting that all the way in. Whoops. I want this tight in here. That's why I'm still turning. I think I'm not going to get any tighter with that. Let's see if I can jam something down here. Stand by. Just to hold that into place a little bit more. Just while I'm turning this. I don't think I'm going to get that any more in there. Okay, that's good. Next, we've got, where are we? This little plastic sleeve. That's going to go over the top of this and fits onto the recess there, which means the last thing we have to put on, well, hey, stand by, is this metal bar. So that's going to go on here. Trying to just get that started on there. There we go. And then make that tight. That's looking good. And I think we're good. There we go. That is all we managed to do on the Patreon stream. So that was crazy, wasn't it? I'm trying to figure out this part here, because this part's going to go into the engine. So I'm wondering what this pulley is in the inside here. Just making sure that that is round right. Yeah, it is round right completely. We've got to put a belt around these two sections here. So I've got the belt. It's a little bit like this. Over the top, into the groove on one side. And then around this pulley. Use my tweezers to help me. Like that. And there we go. So now when that turns, as you can see, the flywheel turns and it's turning this section as well, which is interesting. But there you go. That's the inner belt completed. So now put that to one side and we've got the starter motor. All of these parts here come on a thing here. As a matter of fact, let me just change camera. Something that I haven't done is have a little drink, because I can't believe we got through that section quite easily. And I'm going to show you what you actually get in this, because I haven't actually showed you that. So I've already pre-recorded this, you'll be happy to know. So this gives me time to work on the next stage. So this is what it looks like. And I do love how it's laid out in here. Now they do give you a full inventory of parts, which I'm about to take out now. I love the foam. I love the packaging. And there is quite a few bits in here. The engine block, by the look of it, is one piece. You've got pieces on here which I'm going to need to get off. We've got another part of the engine block here. Looks like we've got some... is this fuel injectors? Perhaps? I haven't taken any inventory at all. We've got this Loctite glue. This is interesting stuff. They do mention this. They said it's screw glue. And it's to be used on certain things. Little tiny bit of glue in there. So it's pretty much like your thread locker, I'm guessing that is. We've got some manifold pieces. We've got, wow. Again, this looks like some vents. Oh God, there's so much stuff. Tiny bits here. I don't know what part we're going to need first, but we'll check that out in a second. We've got this. Lots of things to take off of sprues. And then the motor. That's going to run everything. Lots of wire. Screws. Now, this is going to be a problem. All of this are screws in the same pack. We've got some, I think they're filters, these two. There is lots in this box. More screws. Nuts, grommets, We've got a control board in there. This is the PCB. What else we got? All the instructions are on this dongle here, which I've already taken off and put on my computer. Some more parts there, and I think, just check in, that is it. That's all we've got in here. So this is the inventory of parts. Now, if you remember, I showed you that all of the screws and stuff were in the same bag. So what I've done is I've basically taken stock of everything that was in here, and I put it back in the box here, and I've separated everything into its own bag, just so that I can keep track of what we're actually working from. As you can see, there's lots of like grommets and lots of bearings and lots of different size screws, and that's going to be invaluable when we're actually working through the instructions here. Now, it doesn't come with any tools, so basically you're going to need a PH00 screwdriver, which I've got here. You're also going to need a couple of Allen keys. Now, I'm not sure what size these Allen keys are, but basically you're going to need some jeweler's Allen keys. I've got this one here, and I have got a smaller one on the way, so they are really tiny, and these are just for these hex screws here. But I think without further ado, let's get cracking. Yeah, the engine here is all plastic, just so you know. The only metal bit that we've actually got was that bit that we've just installed. But on the Sterling Kit site, this is just an example of what you can do with an engine, showing you how it operates with electrics. But they have got the full metal petrol engines on there as well, which run the exact same way with everything going on. So this is like a demo kit. It's not £336 Roadrunner. I think this is something like 100 and Gary Whitfield there, $130 this one is. But I should have put that on first when I was doing there, but I'm going to be doing the starter motor now. So this tiny thing here is the starter motor. I haven't had to put my glasses on yet, but I think I'm going to have to do it now because we've got this ratchet to put inside. This is going to go into that little groove that you can see there, which I'm guessing I'm going to be able to put that in with my tweezers, no problems at all, but then I've got to secure it in with a screw. So this is giving you an idea of the detail in this. So that's down. Now I've got a small screw to put in there. Now for some strange reason, I've been trying all my screwdrivers out, even these little tiny ones, even a PH00, but PH00, but the PH00 just seems to be the most versatile one of all of them, because that works. But this is going to go into the bottom here to screw that in, which isn't easy because it wants to turn. So I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver. Just see if I can get this in a bit tighter. There we go. That's going in. Excellent. So I've got that little tiny ratchet in that section there. Then I need the, I don't know what it's called, the solenoids on top. So this must be just the backing of the starter motor. That's the solenoid on top there. This is just going to line up with the screw holes that you can see just down there. This way round, and once again, really tiny screws in this one. These are 8mm screws. So I'll get one in. And again, I'm going to use my really big PH00 screwdriver because it just seems to bite these screws really good. And hopefully get that in. Just looking at how they're going. I think I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, and that is on plastic, use a little bit of oil. I have been doing that a couple of times on some of the part work builds we're doing. It just seems to help them go in, because at the moment that one doesn't want to go in very well. I'm going to drop some oil into these holes, see if that helps me out a little bit. Someone did mention to me that oil is going to destroy the plastic. Well, I've been using it for ages and it hasn't happened to it yet, so hopefully by the time it does that, I'm long gone. But that's going in a lot easier now. So that's good. Let's try and get that in all the way. Line up the other side. God, the detail level this goes in is crazy. So how many of you are going to be on this quiz tomorrow? I really do hope you can all come, because we've been working on it for a good 2 weeks. So there's a lot of work into it. And it'll be the last video before Christmas, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. Which means I'm wearing my Christmas jumper. God knows what Mrs. Welder Wayne's wearing. I haven't got a clue. But there you go. So there we go. That's the end of that. That's the starter motor complete. Starter motor is going to be going on to the section that we just created here. Let's figure it out where that goes. So if that is the flywheel side that we can see, this is going to be going through this hole here. Just double checking, that way around, I believe. Like that. And we need 2 screws to go in there. They are 4mm screws. Now, lucky for me, I've already laid out my bags. That's this one. Look how many there are in that. If I hadn't have done that, look how tiny they are. I don't think I ever would have been able to find them. So, I need 2 of these. Let's try and get 2 out without taking every other one out. My screwdriver is fully magnetized, as you can see. Oh God, I'll get myself. I'm being really gentle about why I'm putting these screws. They do give you some spares, but not a lot. I'm just happy this is going a lot better than it did the last time I did this this stream. It was a living nightmare. Right, okay. So let's line this up. I think I'm going to do the old thing. I am just going to line it with a bit of oil. That really helped last time. It's just a cocktail stick, this is. So put this in, and then hopefully we can get one of these 4mm screws in, which I'm just looking at. It definitely says a 4mm screw. I don't think that's long enough. That's not long enough by a million years. So I'm wondering. Oh, right, I've got it in the wrong way. That's why. Stand by. Who was shouting at the screen? I put it in the wrong way. 1 second. Yeah, I thought to myself, that's nowhere near long enough. There's my first mistake tonight. Oh, come on. Get out of there. There we go. Right, so. We put this in the right way. It's got to go in this way. Stand by. That way like that. But that's going to be pointing down. So it's going to go that way. There we go. And that means the starter motor is engaged with the flywheel. Very clever. I like that. Just looking at the final picture just to make sure I've got this around the right way. It doesn't even go in there. Oh, you're kidding me. Wait a minute. Yeah, it does go in there. I just want to make sure I'm putting this around the right way. I think I am. Yep, I think we're good. Right, let's try and get one of these screws in again. These are tiny. Hopefully, this time it will fit in. It should do. But I've put one in just to keep that in place. And here's the second one. There we go. See, Wayne, just look at the instructions properly. Something I very rarely tend to do. Okay, so we've got one side in. And the other side. Nice and tight. There we go. That's the starter motor in. That's brilliant. I like that. I like how that's looks like it's engaged on the flywheel like it would be. Very clever. Oh yeah, Mrs. Welder Wayne is like Judge Dredd tomorrow. So if people are answering the questions and they've got a dispute, they can take it up with Mrs. Welder Wayne. I've made the answers in tomorrow's quiz quite you either know it or you don't, and there's no ambiguous answers. I don't think there might be a Mrs. Welder Wayne's one, but would you like to know the names of some of the rounds just so you can polish up and stuff? Because I've got them here. Okay, the names of some of the rounds are flags. This is what I've got so far. Guess the retro TV tune, brands, general knowledge, who are they, and Mrs. Welder Wayne's incredibly hard literature round. there's another round to go after that. So there we go. You can start swatting up now about where we are. That's installed in the starter motor on the inside of the motor. It is. Why is it there? Well, no, that's the inside there, isn't it? Because this is the bit here that's going onto the engine. We're about to put in, isn't it? I'm just going to have a look now. Stand by. I'm looking down to the next bit. Yeah, I am installing the starter motor on the inside of the block. Look, they want me now to put this. You're absolutely right, Gary, but I'm just following the instructions here. They want me now to put this in the block. This is what the engine... Oh, wait, you can't see. Hang on. Stand by. What am I doing? I've got my Stream Deck here. Look, so I can use that. They want this metal rod to go through the top here. So when that's in, it means the starter motor, as you can see, Gary, is going to be on the outside there. So I'm just going to try and get this in somehow so it fits flush, which isn't happening at the moment. Stand by. There we go. So that fits in like that. So you can see the starter motor's on the side there. It's quite clever. And we've got to hold this in place with some screws. And those screws are, stand by, the 1x4mm screws again. These little tiny ones. I should have left some of these out, shouldn't I? So I need 4 of these. One. Oh, come on, you've got to give me some credit, Gary. This is gone a lot better than it did the last time I did it. Oh, I'd lost hope with something like this, that's for sure. Yeah, fun with flags, definitely. It's a Sheldon Cooper thing. I'm glad you got the reference, Mike King. How do you intend to get a minus? Yeah, it could probably be done. As I said, Mrs. Welder Wayne will award minus scores, I'm sure, if someone's misbehaving. Flywheels go on the outside. No, because there's going to be a cover, I'm guessing, on this section. It's driving an inner pulley there. I'm just following the instructions. I'm just following the instructions. This is what it tells me to do. So I'm doing it. Well, obviously, no, this will be attached to the clutch, wouldn't it? This will be attached to the... yeah, this will be attached to the clutch. So that would be right. I mean, my knowledge of engines isn't great, but I know that bit. Okay, so this is just going into some little holes. I'm trying to just line them up, so stand by for a second. They're going into these little holes here. I'm just see if I can get one in. I think we're in. Yep, we are. So I'll put the rest of them in as well. Craig Jackson. There might be. Remember, they're retro TV themes. So that's a great possibility. You can't all be helping each other with the quiz. That's not how it works. There's got to be some level of competition in there, I'm sure. Here's the third one. I've had an enormous amount of fun making it, I have to say. Something I have realised, though, just got one more to put in, is I haven't put really many movie-related things in there. I think I need a movie round, because I haven't done that. Pretty crazy. Okay, one more screw to put in. That's just getting my bearings here. Stand by. I put one in that side, which means one... Oh God, I can't see where I've done it. Have I done them all? 1, 2, 3. No, I've got one here, I believe. Stand by. Yeah, one here. So they're all in. I'm not happy with this one here. This one here is a little bit... I think it can go in further. Which it can. And there we go. That's attached perfectly. I'm happy with that. Something else has worked. The competition will be against me. I'm just the quiz master. Okay, so now we've got to install the front inner wheel on this side here. So we're going to need a 2 times 12mm screw, which is a flathead one, which means it's one of these black ones. This is all new territory for me now, so you'd have to bear with me. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, which pretty much means I'm on familiar ground for the World of Wayne channel. We're going to need a 2 times 5 times 1.5 bearing, which, if I'm right, I've already got one of them out. Perfect. And I need a, it's not on there, stand by. I need, is it that one? I need that transmission middle wheel. That's what that one is there. So I've got my sprue cutters here. Let's get this off. Now, when we're making all of our engines for the part work companies, I don't think you've seen something this detailed. Can you imagine if we had to make this? This would be crazy. Okay, I've got a couple of little burrs here. I'm just going to get my glasses on. Let's cut them off. I think I've got them all. Perfect. Right. So this is going to be going screw through one side. This does have a little lip on, so that lip's on the inside. Then we're going to be putting the bearing on like that. And then this whole thing is going to be screwed into this point here, which I believe is the other side of this metal rod that we put in. So I'll put that in there. Just like that. Get me Allen key. And then try and tighten that up, which I think it's going to try and revolve around. So I'm going to try and stop that happening till I've got that all the way down. IXO is very detailed, Pete. I don't know if it's this detailed though. This is crazy detail. This is a lot of screw in this one. If you don't read, or you're not a fan of books, then I'll be shocked if you get anything right in Mrs. World of Wayne's questions. She's quite happy. She was quite proud of doing it, I have to say. Still turning this. Mike King, has someone not known what the Big Bang Theory is? There we go. So that's on. And as you can see, that rotates pretty perfectly now, which I'm quite happy about. As a matter of fact, as you can see, when I'm turning this, it's turning that. That's clever. I like that. Okay. I'm happy. I don't think I can make it any tighter. I'm just going to see if I can tighten this up a tiny bit. No, I think that's as tight as I'm going to get it. But yeah, happy with that. Okay, next. We've got to, we're going to be pushing a bush into a part. So I need to find this part. This is the problem with this build, that the parts on the screen don't look like the parts on the actual sprues. I'm trying to match something up. It could be that one. I think it is that one. Hang on a second. It might be that one. That one's got 3 on the top. Stand by. Figuring it out. That's the only one that looks like it. Let's check this one. Definitely nothing on that one. Check this one. Definitely nothing on that one. So it has to be that one. That's the only one that looks like the picture I've got. I know you can't see the picture, but once again, if you want to see the instructions I'm working from, the link is in the video description. So get this off. Right, I'm just going to have a... This piece doesn't look anything like the piece on the picture. So I'm second guessing myself. Stand by. The top bit does. The bottom bit doesn't. Just going to have another double check. Hang on. It is supposed to look like this from the top, just so you know. But it don't look like that at all. So I'm just double checking if I've got a piece here which looks like that. And I really don't think I have. Nothing there, nothing there. I've got a couple more sprue parts over here. Ah, there we go. See, it was the wrong bit. It's this bit. It don't help you out with the parts of the sprue. It's not like it's numbered or anything. You don't have numbers like you would with one of the Airfix kits or the Revell kits. But this is the part we need here. Now we're going to be putting a grommet in here, which is a 3x4 threaded sleeve, which is this one. It's the biggest one we've got actually, and there's only one of them. So because of that, because I can never get these things open at the moment. Some days I can go, but it doesn't want to open. Open, dagnammit. Okay, forget that out. Right, this is pretty similar both ways. So this is going to be going into the bottom of this section here, but we want it to be pushed in. So to do that, we're going to use a screw, which is the screw that I took out, which I've lost now, which was the, oh no, it's a different screw, this one, an M3x12. Stand by, looking at all my bits. M3x12, that's an M2x12. I don't think I've got one of them. It's got like a hex head. Let me have a look at my instructions. They're asking me to use an M3x12 screw, and I haven't got an M3x12 screw in the instructions here. I've got an M2x12 screw, so perhaps that's what they mean, because there's definitely no M3 screw. I'm hoping that's what they mean. I've got one here. We're going to have a bearing on this, which is an 8x4 bearing. Stand by. 8x2, which is this really big one here. Let's get that one out as well. And I'm guessing that's going to go in there. This is going to go into this side here. And we're going to be attaching this together. Now, we're not actually... This doesn't actually go together like this, just so you know. The only reason we're doing this is to push this bottom thing here into here, which isn't happening. Right, I'm going to try a little bit of oil to help. All it wants me to do, forgetting all that bit, is to get this grommet in this hole. I might try and push it together, you know. But it needs to be quite flush in there, you see. I'm just having a look at the picture again. 1 second. Yeah, this here really needs to be in that section. Now, if anything's going to ping off, it's going to happen here. Matter of fact, rather than squeeze it together, let's try my hammer. I haven't used that for a while. Can I hammer this in? Oh, that worked. Oh my God, that worked. Look at that. It worked. I can't believe that worked. That's all we had to do there. We don't actually need these two bits. That was just so I can push that into there. But by hammering it, as you can see, that's gone in absolutely perfect. I'm so happy with that. Something actually worked for a change. Oh my God, that never happens on the World of Wayne channel. I'm probably calling these things the complete wrong name, you know, Lauren. Do you want to ping Wayne about the flywheel screw advice before the mess hits the fan? What's the flywheel spring? Hang on a second, Craig. I'm looking. Craig. What's the flywheel? I'm gonna go back to the main camera until you tell me what's wrong with a flywheel screw. What's wrong with a flywheel screw? Because everything I've put in at the moment is fine. Hello? What's that? Right, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. The thing is, hang on a second. Stand by. I'm just looking. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Alexa, stop. You're absolutely right with that one. I don't think it's going to matter if I glue it. As long as that's turning when I'm turning this, I can't see us having... Oh, you can't see. I think the thing is, Craig, I got this quite tight, you see, and that's why that's able to do that. So I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But thank you for pointing that out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, now we've done that, we can put that to one side because we're going to be putting the motor in. This is the motor. Now, I want to test this. So to test the motor, I'm using the R2-D2 board here. Now, they want you to actually use that board that I showed you right at the start with the receiver and the transmitter. But yeah, I haven't got one. So there you go. But when I turn this on, as you can see, it's turning fine. So the motor works. Happy with that. We've got to put the motor in. So the motor is going to be coming out of, stand by, this hole just here. So with the mad section here, upright, it's going to go in here, and these holes here and here are going to go over the two holes that we can see in the middle there. Hopefully this will go in easy. Let's try that. Stand by. I think we've got it straight away. So that is in there like that. It's going to be held in with two screws, 1.4 times 5. These screws here. It took a good hour to sort through these screws, just so you know. But it's certainly a fun little build, this one, when it's not going wrong. Yeah, I'm probably going to loosen that afterwards, Lou. I can still get to it from this side, you see. So, but there's just so much to take off. That's one side of the motor in there. Let's do the other one. Thank you, Father. Who's that? Who are you talking to? If you're giving Wayne advice and he elects to disregard said advice, your consciences are clean. Normally, that's what I call bodging it afterwards, Craig. You know what? You know what annoys me? You know what really annoys me? You know that's going to play on my OCD now. Because like I'm thinking about it now already. And I'm just thinking, you know what? Perhaps I should take it out. The thing is, it's locked in really tight. It's really, really tight. So I don't know. I think, you know what? I think you're probably right. If I'm being honest, I think you're right. Because what's going to happen is, when we got more stuff on there, that belt is just going to make that bit that we put on just revolve around. Hang on a second, let me change back. When I revolve this round, it's going to make that section that we put in there just revolve around as well. I don't think it's going to be too hard to just change that. Stand by. Because you bugged me now. My OCD is terrible. Oh, damn it. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So we'll take that out. I mean, look, we've got further than we did before. So that's a start. Tight now, loosey-goosey later. Stop rubbing it in, Lou. Okay. So, see, to get that bit out, just looking, I've got to take this part off as well. Stand by. 1. How quick can I reverse this? 2. 3. And I'm glad someone's reading the instructions tonight. 4. Okay, can that come out? It's being held on by one. What's hold right, it's just that starter motor there. Just needs to go over the lip. Just checking here. I don't think there's anything else holding that into place. Why can't I get that open? Stand by. Why? That's not holding anything down there. Little help. Oh, I've got one here. Hang on. There we go. Right. Does this make you happy now? Okay. So what part of this do I need to glue? Hang on a second. Just scrolling back up. We are going to be gluing this section here. Right. Okay. So that is going on here. There. We're going to be putting a little bit of glue down this shaft. Ah, I can't believe I'm doing this. There we go. So that's not going to come off anymore. Okay. This will go on here. Just start that off. Got to be very quick here, actually. Let me just put a Allen key in there. Stand by. Oh dear. I think it's already setting. Hang on. Shouldn't have used that glue, that's for sure. It's going in. It's going in. Just getting this as tight as I can possibly get it. Excellent. Right. Are we happy now? Just checking things. Hang on a second. I think we're good. That bit's going to rotate over to that bit, but that needs to turn. I think I've put this a bit too tight now. Oh dear. Hang on. There we go. So that turns. That whole thing turns now. Right. Put this back on. There we go. Oh god, this was going so well. It's not a car crash yet. So when that turns, when the flywheel turns, this should turn. Just checking that. That looks good. Just making sure that's quite loose there. The bearing's making that turn okay. That bit there is turning that. Right, we're good. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the engine. This way round. Perfect. Get these little screws back in. Hang on. Stand by. Nope. Get in there. That's it. I can see where the problem would have happened though, so I think I'm glad I've done that. I'll be able to sleep silently at night now. Use Loctite. Yeah, I haven't got no Loctite, so I've had to use that. I mean, it's going to do the same job at the end of the day. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad I've done it. You're happy that I've done it properly now. I mean, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to do it properly, right? Let's get this one in. I tried to undo the one for the starter motor there, so I'm glad I've managed to get that one in. Just figuring out which ones I haven't put in. I've done one that side. I've got two at the top to put in, which are in here. One there. And one on the other side. God, you can see how detailed this thing is now. But I managed to do all that without taking that motor out, so that was quite a feat as well, wasn't it? There we go. That's that is that side. Everyone's happy. So all we've got to do then is just put this one back in the other side there, which goes over the post, which is already lined up. Get my trusty, whatever this is, Allen key. Get that all the way in there. And then we're back where we started from. But you know what? I think I might have to take that motor out to get this in. Let me just check. Oh no, it's going in. It's going in. There is glue that came in the kit. You're right. The problem is, look, I'm going to show you that glue that come with the kit. The glue that come with the kit, that's on there, I believe. That looks good. They don't give you much in it. So when you have a look at this, I don't know if it's dried up on mine or what, but look. It's pretty much, there's just a tiny, tiny piece in there. But there you go. I should have used that, shouldn't I? Now I've got it on my hands. Hang on a second. Perhaps my life of the model builders, it's as if 1,000 units cried out at once and suddenly silenced. Yeah. The thread lock is, yeah, they probably did. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? It's working. Look, the thing turns, the little spindle here turns. I'm happy with that. I'll try and get it a little bit tighter, but I don't think I'm going to be able to without taking that motor out. Oh no, we've done it. Perfect. So that's where we're up to. What's the time? We've got 5 minutes. Let me just see what the next section is. We're good at the moment. We're good at the moment. So I've done that. We've put this bit in. We've got to now put this section that we created here on top. We can take this screw out. This is going to go onto the end of the motor here. So we're going to put the grommet bearing, whatever you want to call it, on this side. That goes in there. And then this is going to go over the top this way round with the 3 sort of like holes facing outwards. So that goes on like that. And guess what? Guess what, peeps? Guess what? Before I put that on, they want us to use some of this glue. So I'm going to put some on a little cocktail stick here. Look, it's purple, this glue is. We'll put some around the inside. So I'm not going to get told off. There we go. Because I'll put it on now. And then that's going to go on here. There we go. Put this all the way down. And we want to line it up so that I'm screwing it down as much so I can get a belt round here. Which is around about there. By the look of it. You can adjust it so it gets in there. I've got a tiny belt here to put on that. That's going to go on. Where's my... This one's not stretching very much, so I hope it doesn't break. It is now. That's just going to go on the lips of these sections here, which looks pretty good. There we go. And that's in place as well. And then I think we've got time just to do the quick sump, which is going to have the control board in it. This is the control board here. Now this is what I was on about the power. That's all you need, just like your oil. Yeah, just a tiny bit. I'm learning. Okay, so this is just basically going to go into this section here, and we're going to be screwing that down with some of those really tiny screws. Now, as you can see, this is going to turn the 2-pronged controller of the motor into a 3-pronged on the other side, which, as I said at the start of this, is going to use this cable here, which unfortunately I'm going to leave it there because that's where I'm a little bit confused now, because I'll be able to show you the motor working like you just saw. But once it's connected to that board, I can't until I get the receiver and the transmitter, and I don't know how that works. But yeah, I reckon this is a variant of Loctite. I mean, it does actually say Loctite on it. Look, oh crap, it's coming out. But 2 mils. You know what? The lid don't stay shut. a tub of glue where the lid don't take shut. But you know what? That is a lot bigger. Lot better than we did on the Patreon stream. That's what it's like for size. Just so you know. Because I know when I'm working on some of these things, you can't really make out what I'm doing. But it's quite interesting. It's very detailed with a flywheel at this side, the motor inside, this at this side. I reckon we've got so many bits left. I mean, look at all the manifolds there. And the cylinder blocks, that's the cylinder blocks, that's the manifolds to put in. So, you know, it's not going to be something that gets done in one sitting, but who knows. Fredlock isn't like CA glue. So Lou, please explain to me what Fredlock is, because people keep mentioning it in my builds that I do, and I really haven't got a clue. They say put it in so the screw doesn't come out, but what job does the only thing that I can think Fredlock does that CA glue doesn't is Fredlock allows it to actually go in and stay for a certain time before it sets. It's got a longer time before it sets because it does set like glue. The difference with CA glue is once you put it on and tightened it, that's it. Yeah, it's never coming off again. But I don't know. Is it? I haven't got a clue. I'm learning. I'm learning. I forgot I had that, you see. But it's all good. Can you put some petrol in it and fire it up? Not this one, Phil, but they do make one. This is just like you know, this is what the metal ones would look like when you put them together. But they do make metal ones where you put petrol in them and they fire up, which is quite interesting. Look, you've even got the old pistons to go in yet and stuff. They're really detailed. Really detailed. But there you go. It's all fun. Now, that was the last build stream. Thank God for that this week. Tomorrow we've got the Christmas quiz, which I can't wait for. If anyone wants to know again the time that that's on, look, as you can see there, it's going to be at 7 p.m. tomorrow. There is already a link posted in my social media, but I'll make sure that there's a link go up tomorrow as well. Mrs. Welderwayne's going to be joining me, so we'll have some fun just before the end of Christmas. Now, after the Christmas quiz, I'll be returning back to the channel on the 28th. I think it is Tuesday the 28th. I want to get more working on with the Orca. As said, if you've checked out Phil Spruver's Instagram page at the moment, he's really getting to work on the mast, and that's something that I want to get cracking on. Phil, you'll be happy to know I've got the paint. So I've got the paint here, so I can actually start painting it the colours that we've got here. So it's all good. That's pretty much right. It binds up the screw but won't set as quickly. You see, I knew a little bit, Lou, but not too much. Hey, you know what though? I'm not afraid to say when I don't know anything, so I don't know anything. I'm like number 5. I need input. But anyway, listen, thank you for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible tomorrow on the Christmas quiz. We're going to have a lot of fun. Okay? Take care.